Hello, hello. It's Nienke here from Nienks.com. I'm going to show you a card I made for our card swap with my team in end of December using the Catching Butterflies Cling stamp set. This is a Sale-a-bration item that you can earn for free with a $50 order. And then I also paired that with the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper 6x6. And that is also a Sale-a-bration item. I did show this in the catalog flip through, but I will just quickly. Yeah, this again, you can see I already used this quite a bit. So here is that first very pretty pattern. That's the back side. And then this one, let's just do this. Here is the back side. And then this one. I really enjoy this paper. It's so happy and fun. Soft seafoam. I loved pairing it with a stamp set because it looked so little girly. Pool party with white hearts. And then there's also a stamp set and dies in a new mini catalog that coordinates with this paper. There's also a new cloud punch that you can use to punch out those images. Granny apple green stripes, the magenta madness, and is it Misty Moonlight? Misty Moonlight, yes. Very cute little pattern here. Stripes and dots. Love the dots. Rainbows on the saffron. Multicolor stripes. Pool party, and that is it for the paper. So I'm going to use that rainbow one. I already cut a little strip. We'll just have to cut that down, and I'm going to make a fun fold. It's a little my scrap pieces of white. So we have a 8.5 by 11 inch piece of this is actually Bumblebee, and I'm going to cut that on the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. Oops, I don't think you can see that. There you go. At 4 1/4. And then I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. And if you want to use the long arm, 6 1/2. Otherwise you can just line up your 5 1/2 your 5 1/2 score line with your 1 inch mark there, and then we're going to place another score. So it's 5 1/2, 6 1/2. While I have my trimmer out, let's just do all the other ones too. I have a little piece of white scrap that we're going to use. The DSP strip is 7/8 by 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 right there. This is a little scrap piece. There is our DSP, and then we need a basic white mat that is 4 1/8 by 4 3/8. I know it's weird measurements, but you will understand why I'm leaving a little mat around the base. So 4 3/8 will be that one there. 4 3/8 by 4 1/8 is that. So we have our mat, we have our DSP. This is a little scrap piece that we're going to use. Oh, I've got, sorry, pencils flying everywhere because we're going to do some coloring. Let's get our score in here. And in true fashion, I have no idea where my bone folder is. Okay, so I've just folded on the 5 1/2 inch, and now I'm going to fold back on the 6 1/2 inch. score line that we made. I'm just going to push that down with my finger like that. So we're going to make this little fun fold. I'm not sure. I think it is called a book fold. I'm not sure. So there is that one. If you would like a mat for the inside, you can just cut a piece of basic white for that. And this is really light cardstock, so a black pen will work fine on there. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm just going to adhere this part down using some liquid glue, going right up to the edges. Finish that down, then that glue will have some time to set while we're doing all of our stamping and our coloring. And while I'm busy gluing, I'm just going to add my piece of designer series paper to this flap because I know that's where I want it. So this is the reason for that strange measurements. I just wanted to leave a 1/16 of an inch border all around there. So that is sort of the base of the card done, and we just need to stamp and color the front, and that will be it. So this is our piece of paper. It's 4 by 1 inches by 4 by 1/8 and 4 by 3/8, so that it's just a little bit longer than what it is wide here. That's going to go right there, and we're going to do some stamping on this using this very little cute girl with her butterfly net. I have this at the E block. I checked, and she would just barely fit on a D block. You can, so if you only have a D block, it'll be fine. Using my silicone mat, because this is a rubber stamp, it already has a cushioning. It's not like your photopolymer where you need extra cushioning with the stamp and pierce mat. And with this, I can also line it up. I can see my grid through the silicone mat, which I like. So I just use that for some stamping too, to make sure I have everything straight. Inking her up very well with Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm just going to color her with pencils. You can color her with anything you want. And I'm going to stamp her just a little bit off center to the left and a little bit high. Just even, nice even pressure. Don't rock your stamp. There we go. So that is her, and I think I forgot to mount one of the little ground piece. So I'll just quickly do that. So that she doesn't look like she's floating in midair. There we go. Oops, that was the wrong way around. Goodness gracious. Let me just wipe off my mat that I just stuck my entire black ink pad on. Thank goodness I didn't press it down. Oh, which way did I want this? This way, that way. Ink it up. I try not to rock my stamp on my ink pad too, so that I don't get any ink on the sides. And then I'm going to add this right under her toe, and that just gives it a little bit of grounding there. Wipe that off, and while we're stamping, I'm going to use the Celebrate Every Little Thing. And I have already checked that this is square on my block. I don't think I put my actual sticker of my stamp wasn't very straight. So I'm just going to use, I got it straight on my block. Oh, wait, I don't want this here. And if it's not completely straight, then it's fine too. Oh, that's pretty good. So there is that, and we're going to use our little scrap piece. And if you make a mistake on this piece here, you can turn around stamp on the other side. And what you can also do is use a stamp apparatus, and that will help you get everything nice and level. Oh, there's one more thing. I decided I wanted to put a little bit of butterflies in the inside of my card. You can do that in like tone on tone too if you want it, like bumblebee on bumblebee. Let's put them there. I decided I wanted a little bit more contrast, so I'm doing it in black. Isn't that cute? That dry. Just extra detail for the inside. And I think that is it for the stamping. Close this up so that I don't put it in something again. So the little pieces we're going to color is her and this very cute little butterfly. And I just have some Prismacolor pencils. You can use whatever pencils you have, or the blends or the Stampin' Right markers. They all work very well. Now, I'm just going to color her dress in really quickly, not doing any shading, because I'm going to show you a little ribbon technique. We're going to give her a ribbon dress. So this is just for some just some background underneath, not anything too much or any shading or highlights, just to have her all colored in. We're going to cover all of this with a ribbon anyway. I like Prismacolors because they're really soft pencils and they give you a lot of pigment when you color. I also love Faber-Castell polychromos. That gives you a lot of layering. Okay, so I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the sleeves and the top, because that's what's going to show more than the bottom. There we go. Done with that. We're going to do some inking with the net, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, and one thing that I want to do with the yellow too is the inside. You can pick any yellow you want, it doesn't matter. This one is actually a yellow ochre, which is more of a bumblebee color, so you can use bumblebee. So if you have bumblebee blends, bumblebee Stampin' Right marker, or just thinking, I don't think there is bumblebee blends. Sure. And the only other thing we're going to do with the little butterfly, this is magenta, so it's very close to Magenta Madness, which is in the a color in the DSP, so you can use that too. And that's done. We're just going to fussy cut him in a little bit, and we're done with the magenta. Now I'm going to do her hair, and that's going to be very quick and simple too, just following the strands a little bit. And I'll show you how to do a little bit of shading. This is just a dark brown. Yeah, dark brown, and reminds me of one of my daughters of the baby. Has dark brown hair. Oh, she's not a baby anymore. I should stop calling her the baby, right? She'll be 3 pretty soon, so toddler. There we go. Now I just use the Tuscan red, which is a little bit more red tone, and I'm just going to put in some highlights. So right here where something goes under something else, I'm just adding some red shading. It's not like red, just a little red coloring to give it something extra. And then I'm just going over it again with the brown, just to tone it down a little bit. So if you have Stampin' Blends, you can just do this with the dark and the light, whichever color you want. And that is it for her hair. Didn't take too long. Let's just do some little bit more definition in these little strands up here. There we go. That's her hair. And then we're going to do, I picked these sort of skin tone colors. This one is peach, that one is light peach, and this is like a pink, blush pink. There we go. So this is the darkest one. So I'm going to start at the spots that I want darkest, which is just like under the little dress and the little feet and her hands. I'm just going to do one color because they are so small. There's no reason to put any sort of shading in there. This will just add some light peach, and then I'm going to start here where there'll be some shadow on her face and just bring that in. If you don't want to watch the entire coloring process, you're welcome to fast forward through this, but it's really not, it's not taking forever. It's very simple, quick coloring that will be done in a couple of minutes, and I like coloring, so it doesn't bother me at all. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the inside of her face with the light, and then I'm going to blend everything with the pinkish color. Go just do this little hands. I'm not going to do anything, and just bring in the color along her legs. Again, you can do, I'm just going to go very lightly with this. We don't want her to have a pink face. We just want to blend these colors into each other a little bit, very softly in the middle, not using any pressure at all. And then I'm just going to go back with the darker color. I like layering my colors because that gives it more depth. And the last one, and then we're done. There we go. There's her little face. And I didn't do anything to the eyes. I just left them white. So there she is. And then I'm just going to show you what I did with my pool party ink and a water brush. I have the Derwent water brushes. You can use any water brush you have. And I'm just picking up my ink with that. If you want, you can just check that. There we go. I already used that scratch piece, like you can see. And then starting at this point, because it's going to get lighter and lighter all, further away you go. So I just want to start right. Do I have too much water now? I think I'm good. See? Oh, too much water. Thought so. Let that dry a little bit. Add some little bit of ink here. Some other reason I think I squeezed it too hard. There we go. Start at that point and then just slowly move up to here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So it already gives it a blending effect. I'm going to start at the rim and slowly move that in. So it will be darker there and then lighter coming in. And I'm just going to go over this one more time at the, just bringing in some at the bottom. You don't want a lot of water because this is Memento Black ink. It is not stays on, so it will smear if you use too much. Plus, this is just basic white cardstock. It is not watercolor cardstock. So keep that in mind. And that's all I did with the little net. And this you can just wipe off on your chamois or on a piece of kitchen cloth. I like wiping it on my chamois first to get most of the ink off, and then just making sure that there's no color coming off. It will stain your brush, which is fine, as long as there's no color coming off when you wipe it. Ouch. That was my knee. There we go. Isn't she so cute? Fussy cut out our butterfly, which is really quick and easy. Use your non-dominant hand, mine is left, to guide your butterfly into your scissors. So do not turn your scissors, turn the paper. I love using a little border. Some people like to cut on the black line. That is fine too. There we go. All done. Now I'm going to just hold that and lift the little wings of my butterfly. Hold his body and lift his wings. That gives us a piece there where we're going to add our liquid glue, and it gives the card more dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and add her. Then I'll show you how we make a little ribbon dress that is so cute. And I'm also going to add this brand new iridescent rhinestones. I love those rhinestones. Okay, just make sure you have a same border all around, and that your designer series paper and basic white meets up at the end here. There we go. So before I lose it, I just added some liquid glue to its body and pressed it down. Where's my... This is a nice flat part of the take your pick tool. It works very well for that purpose. Okay, in the clearance rack right now, there's this very cute daffodil, is it daffodil delight? Daffodil delight ribbon that's got this sort of crinkled texture. You can also use the bumblebee ribbon. This is also retired. This very nice one that looks at that texture. I just thought this looks like a very cute little dress. So I'm going to make a very small bow with my ribbon. Like that. And I like this end to be a little bit longer because that's going to be one of the sides of the dress, and I think these need to be a little bit smaller, like so. Just turn this one around facing the right way. Now I feel like it's facing the wrong way. There we go. Okay, that way and that way. Like this. Just clean that one up a little bit. So we're going to add that with a glue dot right there. And then what we need is to fill up this. So I'm just going to add, let's do this. How long? I'm just eyeballing this, something like that. And let's do one more. I will, probably about 4, and I will make sure of the length just now. Okay, let's see. Add a glue dot to our very cute little dress bow and add that right there. Then we can add this one there. Now you can just squeeze that up into that glue dot there. Let's add another one here, and with this one I'm just going to add another glue dot. And I'm just going to cut this one so it doesn't get caught up here. Lift up the little bow and add that underneath there. We're going to add a glue dot at the end right there too, to keep that one down. And let's add this one right there. Grab another, oh, not another ribbon, another glue dot. You can roll these up if you want to, the little glue dots. I'm going to lift up the bow, get this one there where I want it, and now I'm just going to add the last two glue dots to keep our sides down. I think with these I will roll them up a little bit. My glue dot right there, have that end over that corner, and the last one right here, like so.